the conference, the Temple Owls. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up. The Cardinals will boot it away to start the game. From inside his own 10, let's see what he gets. And he's able to pick his way through the traffic nicely for a good return on that one before he's brought down. So Temple's offense will go on the attack first. And they are coming off a sensational performance led by this quarterback who's hoping he can build on things, Jesse.
Well, I know, having played the position, when you have a big game, you just can't wait to get back out there again and build on that performance. David, last time out, he was making the right reads. He showed off his arm talent. He had this offense moving up and down the field and finding the end zone. And you know he's excited to take on this defense today.
Yeah, and talking to the defensive coordinators coming in this football game, like, they're not going to do what happened last week. Like, you can't sit back and make the coverages easy for him to diagnose. They'll pick you apart like he did last week. Look for some change-ups and some curveballs for this defense.
3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Grant in the middle. It's Westbrook. They'll get him on the ground at the 46, and it'll be a first down. Temple lines up quickly.
And it's on 3rd downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to hook up there.
And the Owls can really attack on this 2nd and short. Fires left. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. 3rd down coming. Now this offense tries to figure out a way to move the chains after the 2nd down misfire. They'll move the chains. Good execution on 3rd down. They've got it at the 41.
Offenses that are great on 3rd downs, what do? Most of the time, they keep it in manageable situations where they're not predictable, not just dropping back to pass. They do it here on 3rd and short. They convert. This offense has been so efficient on 3rd downs all throughout this season.
Looking to the big tight end. Got his man downfield. Who gives a hoot? The Owls do. It's a touchdown. Made the grab and took it on in for the score.
It's so nice to have these big playmaking tight ends that are basically oversized receivers. Make a play down the field to him, huge catch radius, makes the play, and then I love the run after the catch. These guys can do this nowadays. He does the rest of the work and gets into the end zone.
So Louisville's offense will try to get something started with their first possession. Every team has impact players. What traits are you looking for when it comes to players who can make an impact, David?
Well, obviously, you want the main things, right? Speed, physicality, like all power, all those things are really, really good. But you also need guys that will hold people accountable, guys that will lead. And it's nice to have those guys on your team. They're the leaders of the team, and they're the best players.
And part of the reason why they're leaders is because these guys galvanize their teammates, right? We've seen time and time again, these dudes make plays, and it just sparks the...
There he goes! Everybody needs a little luck, and the offense just got it by falling on that fumble. I don't know if it was luck or aggression or just a fortuitous bounce, but at least they've got the ball back.
Well, one thing I do know, Reese, this running back has got to do a better job with ball security. You cannot turn the football over and expect to win this game. They're very lucky they were able to jump on top of that.
Knocked down behind the line of scrimmage, he'll lose a yard.
You know when you're playing against a defense of this caliber, you're going to have some sort of balance, right? You can't just drop back and throw it every single play. Nothing going on that last run. They're going to have to find another way to get it going and handing the ball.
Grant behind the line. It's Proctor. They'll stop him just short of the first down marker on the screen.
Gotta love this play call early in the football game. Like the quarterback, get in a rhythm, run a screen play, get it to a playmaker, create some space, move the sticks, get a first down. Nice start for this offense.
And he needed just a single yard, and he did not get it. What a stout play by this defense. Gets his first one of the day away, and that matches his total from that victory last week. tempo takes over, and the Owls send the offense back onto the field. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. He'll start this drive firing. Got it in the middle. It's Westbrook. He stopped just a chain link or two away from the first down and sets them up beautifully here. They're looking to throw on 2nd and short. He spins that thing down the middle. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on. The Owls are facing 3rd and inches. They'll try to run for it. It's a game of first downs, and they've got one out to their own 37.
And obviously, this is one of the best offenses in the country, and it's because they get first downs. Top 10 in the nation picking up first downs. How nice is it to know you can turn around, hand it off to that guy right there, and let him go to work.
And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. From the gun, the running back tries to hit the hole. Oh, he's got some space. Good pick up there as he gets the first down, and they'll mark him at the 48.
All right, defense, that's what we can't do. We can't give up this many chunk yards on the ground. Got to commit more guys to the line of scrimmage. Got to get those running backs on the ground.
It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Didn't have a lot of room to run after the pick, but he's done his job. They have it at the 44.
And you will always remember your first. And how about that? Breaking on the football, getting an INT, the first INT. Keep the football, brother. The first of many big-time plays for this guy.
Leaves it with the running back. Oh, he was in the backfield immediately. A 3-yard loss.
They're trying to run the football. There's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
Keeping it on the ground with the running back. And he was able to get away from one tackle, but plenty of help was on the way. Decent pickup on that play. And the Cardinals come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to convert here. He'll throw on 3rd down. Took a shot as he threw. Didn't have much of a choice there, but to get rid of it. The Cardinals will bring the punt team onto the field. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Hauls it in, looking for space. He's got great speed. You want to talk about dynamic ability to flip a field on display right there. And it was just about a return for a touchdown. The give from the gun. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20-yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Unloads it left. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
And this defense is going to have their hands full because they're going to need to be comfortable with guys one-on-one on islands in the perimeter of the field. And they're just going to have to make better.
Touchdown, Owls! Fired in from the red zone for the score.
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They're going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Louisville has it back in the offense, coming out ready to attack. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play.
And the defense makes it play. They set to snap it. Time winding down here in the quarter. On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. And he's feeling the heat, and he will go down. Final play of the first quarter, and not the way he wanted to end it. Guys, it's Temple with the lead here at the end of the quarter. Man, that was an impressive and dominant first quarter. Let's take a look at the stats before we move on. And the Cardinals will punt this one away. They make the stop, and that is exactly what you want out of your punt cover unit. Temple takes over, and the offense will return to the field. They've already put a couple of scores up, and they look to add to it on this drive. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
Wants to adjust the pattern. Oops, someone moved just a bit early, and the offense is going to pick up a penalty.
False start on offense.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Now on second down. Looking to fire. Unloads to the wideout. Got him downfield. Nothing but green grass down the middle. And he ran away from the defense to take it in. Touchdown, Temple. No midseason concentration laps here in Week 7 as they push out that lead.
You know, oftentimes in college football, the best offenses are the ones that can create explosive plays just like you saw right there. They're top 10 in the nation in points per game because they don't have to drive the field. They've got dudes scattered all over this offense that can take it the distance on any given play.
The Louisville offense is headed back out on the field. They've got nothing done so far, and they already find themselves in a 3-possession hole, Jesse.
Yeah, and as a head coach, you're wondering, what didn't I say? What didn't I do to get my team ready to go? Because we look like we're sleepwalking at this point.
Nothing.
And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19. They've already racked up big sack numbers. It's starting to snowball, and they are ready to go again. Leaves it with the back. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. Third and long, backed up inside their 20. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9. The Cardinals send out the punt unit. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. So from his own end zone, the punt is away. And good work by the coverage team to knock down the return man. Temple takes over, and the Owls send the offense back onto the field. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute them.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
It's 1st and 10. They've moved it to the 41. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Back to pass. Rushes on him. Incomplete thanks to the great defensive pressure there that sort of threw them out of rhythm.
I think for the quarterback, he's going to have to be so good with his eyes in this game. You're going up against one of the best defenses in the country. You've got to look guys off, especially when you're trying to throw to your primary target like he was on that last one.
He's finally stopped, but not before he takes it into the red zone. They'll mark it at the 18. This Temple offense putting together a nice drive. Snap it to the back. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Great team defense on that run play. Every everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Wants to go up top. Got his man on the right. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it stands. So that penalty is going to cost them the first down as they back up, and now it's 2nd down. Here comes the offense on 2nd down. Looking to fire. Snagged out of the air. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first.
And if you had any questions about this quarterback's arm talent, now you've got your answer. Wow.
On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. Got it in the middle. It's Punga. He's not going to make it to the sticks. And what a stop against one of the best 3rd down offenses in the country. Temple hoping to convert on 4th down.
Boys, you got this.
He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Finds him out of the backfield. Couldn't quite nudge it in. Not sure you could get much closer, but it'll be 1st and goal. This offense has been a juggernaut, and they have a chance to pad their total just before halftime. They'll run it on 1st and goal. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Owls!
And this crowd was already jacked up. They were already excited. They were already making a difference in this football game, and the offense continues to pile on and give them something to cheer about. 27-0 here in the first half. This has been all home team.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Louisville has it back, and the offense coming out ready to attack. They find themselves in a pretty deep hole here, but maybe a chance to grab a little momentum and regroup at halftime.
Yeah, a big chance. Like this is an opportunity. This is the biggest opportunity in front of them in the game right now. You got to get some points on the board. You got to create something positive, Jesse. There hasn't been a whole lot to be positive about in the first half.
If I'm playing quarterback, I'm locating my go-to guy at receiver. Who can I count on one-on-one to go and make me a play? Maybe even one.
It's caught. And they explode on that one, and they've got it down to the 22. Finally, this offense starting to shake the cobwebs and get things moving. It's 1st and 10. Wants to go up top on 1st down. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on 1st down. 2nd down coming.
This defense has a lot of speed, especially in the secondary, and you saw that speed. That defender got to that receiver so quick, and because of the hit, incomplete pass.
Turning it on. Got some room, entered to the goal line. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Cardinals!
A nice job on this offense, putting the scoring drive together. And now listen, it's not even halftime yet. So keep fighting, going to halftime, regroup. We found a little something on this drive. See if we can cut into this lead and continue to make this game closer and closer.
Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Hey, guys, just wanted to give you a quick update on a game happening in the SEC. Oklahoma is trailing, but don't tell me this team can't come back. I once saw Jalen Hurts lead the Sooners back from 28-3 down. We'll see what they're made of today. They're trailing by 11 to Texas. We'll keep an eye on things until the final horn in a game that could shake things up a bit in the SEC.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. That'll be enough for a fresh set of downs. He gets it to the 32. To the air on 1st down. It's complete to the right. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
You know, as a quarterback, you believe in your matchup. And in my running back, if I can get him the ball in space, he's going to win a lot of times. He did in that time. The defense was ready. Nice job in the open field making the nice tackle.
A strike downfield. He'll go out of bounds inside the 40. They'll mark it at the 39. Chains are set, and Temple has it with another 1st and 10. Takes his shot. Got his man to the left. He's down at the 23-yard line. It's a 1st down, and they've got to show this urgency. Offense working from the pistol. Looking to throw on 1st down. Wide open downfield. Touchdown Owls! A great catch and run for 6.
And we are officially in blowout mode. This offense has been up and down the field. We've seen so many explosive plays, and they score again before going in at halftime, guys. I'm hoping we can have a running clock here in the 2nd half.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Louisville offense is headed back out on the field. They've fallen into a hole here, and they need to start fighting back right now on this drive. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the 1st half. Using the back as a receiver on the screen. And that did not work. Defense smelled that one out from the beginning.
Well, the defense sniffed that screen out perfectly. All the D linemen, they were reading the body language of the offensive line. They knew something was up, and when the screen pass got thrown, they were right there to make the tackle.
From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. And the run goes nowhere, and that'll send us to halftime. That's the end of the 2nd quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Fellas, looks like we've got a terrific scene there today in Philly. And we'd be remiss if we didn't start this halftime report by giving props to this superstar tight end. He's been almost, you know what, check that. He has been unguardable with that unusual blend of speed, size, hands, and route running. He is a pick-your-poison kind of player.
Louisville has it back, and the offense coming out ready to attack. Got blown out in the 1st half, and now just desperate to find anything to generate momentum here in the 3rd quarter.
It just starts with one play, though. You just need one thing to go right for this offense to start to build.
He's loose. The 40. The 30. The 10. Touchdown, Louisville! He broke away from the defense, and they couldn't catch him.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. And listen, a lot of times, touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Temple takes over, and the offense will return to the field. They still have a cushion, but you don't want to feed. Breaks into the open. He's at the touchdown. Owls. He got loose, and it was lights out after that.
This offense looked unstoppable in the 1st half, lighting up the scoreboard, and it doesn't look much different here in the 2nd half. They take their first drive in the 3rd quarter, march it down the field, and score. There is no end in sight for these guys.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Louisville offense is headed back out on the field. They torched this defense with an explosive passing play for a score last time out. Let's see if they go right back at him. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. And it was worth going for a chunk play, but the long pass is incomplete.
There's an example of what happens when the quarterback doesn't have a chance to set his feet. The pressure just forced him to have to work off schedule a little bit. And I think because of that, he wasn't able to be as accurate as he wanted to be.
He'll try it again on 2nd and 10. Snagged in the middle. It's Payne. Out to the 36-yard line after gaining 10 on that one.
That's a huge throw for the offense, but they're down by a ton. They're going to need a lot more of that, and it's not going to be easy considering the defense knows they're probably going to be throwing the ball every play here in the second half moving forward.
Quick spin on the run. And he runs through one tackle and picks up a few.
Love the play call on the RPO. That time the defender bites on the run fake, and that opens up the window for the slant coming in behind it. Nice job.
And the Cardinals come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. Gives it on the option. Plows through the defense. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down.
These running backs nowadays, they're built so low to the ground, thick and compact, but fast and shifty. They're just so hard to tackle. And you can see just does a great job breaking tackles.
Just too much of a rush, and down goes the quarterback just behind the midfield stripe at the 49.
And it's been a long day for this offense. If you can't protect your quarterback, it's hard to be successful. That's the 5th sack they have given up. The offensive coordinator has no answers, and this defense has been flying around.
It's second and long now as this defense has some energy after that last sack. Fires to the big fella. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down.
Well, you hear all the time that the tight end's the QB's best friend. You saw a perfect example of it on that last play, right? Second down, you need to pick up some positive yards to keep this third down manageable. Really nice job of executing there.
Grabbed over the middle. It's Payne. They'll make the stop about a yard short of the first down. They'll try to salvage a field goal on this drive. And he's going to have to get into this football. This is a 53-yard attempt. That took every ounce of leg strength he had to sneak that one into the left corner.
How about it? 50-plus, no problem. Big leg, nice accuracy. That's a big-time kick for this young man.
They were able to get a field goal on the board, and now they'll kick it away. He'll start the return inside his 5. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. Temple takes over, and the Owls send the offense back onto the field. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal.
And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17. And the Owls have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's second and a mile. Back to pass. Throws to the tight end. He's got an open man. To the 43-yard line, and a first down for this offense. This offense lines up feeling awfully good after that big play. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. This time they stop him behind the line of scrimmage, and boy, that has been rare in this one. Lost one on that last one. It's second and 11. Wants to go up top. He's got him. At the 40, there he goes. And he is marked out of bounds after another big gain. This aerial attack has had no problem moving the ball with chunk plays. The Owls have their offense in high gear. The run from the shotgun. And the defense stops him just short of the first down. Maybe needed a few more chain links to move the sticks.
Man, when I can run the football like that on first down and create second and inches and stay way ahead of the sticks and be in a position now where I can throw the football or run, I will have a lot of success on the offensive side of the football.
They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
Well, they needed 2 yards for that first down. The running back doing just enough to make sure he keeps this drive alive.
Chains are set, and Temple has it with another first and 10. Catch in the middle, it's Westbrook. Now the connection takes it to the 11.
There are a lot of offenses out there that would probably be a little bit more conservative when you've got a lead like this in the third quarter, but when you've got the playmakers these guys have at the skill positions throwing the football, you should keep airing it out, and that's exactly what they're doing now.
Temple lines up quickly. Sends it back in motion. The give to the tailback. And he takes it in for a score. Touchdown, Owls.
You know, this offense knew coming into the season it was so important for this guy to stay healthy. They needed him week in, week out because he plays at such a high level, and he's showing it here. That last carry was his 10th rushing touchdown of the season.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Louisville has it back, and the offense coming out ready to attack. Man, how comforting is it to know that even if your offense stalls out a little, Jesse, that field goal kicker can knock it in from a long way out.
Well, he's one of the best in the country, Reese, no doubt. But this offense would like him and prefer for him to kick an extra point on this drive. And to do that, David, they've got to have more rhythm on defense.
Yeah, create some more rhythm, create some more explosive plays, and maybe some more balance. And listen, it's nice to have that weapon and kick long field goals. You kick too many field goals, you don't get very many W's.
From the gun, they'll try the middle. And he's able to bounce off one tackle for a solid pickup.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
He'll keep it on the sneak. And from this angle, I don't think he got the first down. The defense won at the line of scrimmage. The Cardinals decide to punt it away. They've been busy out there to punt for the 5th time today. Everybody stays in their lanes well enough, and they stop him at the 31-yard line. Temple takes over, and the offense will return to the field. That last drive, an absolute aerial assault for the touchdown, Jesse.
It was a nice job in play calling, too, David, just giving the quarterback some easy look.
Intercepted, and finally, this defense makes a play. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover. Running it to the right. Powers through the defender. Got some room to run. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down.
When you talk about creating big plays in the running game like this makes the game really easy. Actually, when you've got a guy like this that you can hand it to with this much speed and elusiveness, just hard to bring down in the open field, what a big gain for the offense.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Now the play fake. Finds his big tight end. He's there to make the stop, but the damage has been done as they pick up the first down on the throw and catch. On the doorstep of cashing it in for the offense. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Touchdown Cardinals. They punctuate the chance with a trip to the end zone. Field shrinks, tight end grows. Big targets, big results.
I've never heard it put that way, but you're dang right. That guy is so big. A lot of times you get a DB matched up on him. He can just post him up. A linebacker, he can run by him. So that's why these tight ends are so dangerous down here in this red zone.
And he takes this from inside the 5. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. Plenty of time for one more snap before the end of the quarter. Wants to throw on first down. That's reeled in. It's Westbrook. There to make the tackle, and with that, we'll head to the 4th quarter. We've come to the end of the period, and Temple is holding the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. They go back to work with a first down in the Looking to throw on first down. Makes the grab.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
And the Owls in a good spot here with second and short. The give to the back. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Well, the defense finally able to make a play, getting a tackle for loss. They haven't had many of those today because this running back really has answered the bell. They knew coming in they were going to have to give him the football, force feed it to him, and let him go to work. He's done that. Well over 100 yards rushing in this game, and the defense just has not had the answers consistently for him.
That pass is well off target. He got hit as he was trying to throw, and they can't convert on third down. They already have a comfortable lead up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it. Makes a grab past the marker. All down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down.
Wow, and that was just a bang-bang play. On that fourth down, the coverage was tight. QB had his receiver. He knew where he wanted to go with it, but the only way that ball gets completed is if he puts a little extra mustard on it, and he shows you the arm talent on the throw.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position.
And that is interception number 3 on the day.
It's all about making plays, and this guy's been waiting to make his mark on this team. He gets his first interception of the season, and what a momentum-changing play for his team.
The Louisville offense is headed back out on the field. They'll start this drive with a pass. Fires to the wideout. Fired just a little too long as the junior frustrated he missed that connection.
And I absolutely love what this defense is doing, man. You know exactly what time it is. You've got a big lead. They're going to have to throw the football. So more nickels, more dimes. Bring the speed on the field and get ready to play the pass.
Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. Ball's at the 29. Defense can taste getting off the field. It's third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. He's not afraid to go deep. Catch and stride inside the 15. Touchdown, Cardinals! He got a step and just dusted the field. This is like a baseball pitcher that can't miss. He is just pounding the strike zone.
It just gets in the zone, right? When you can't miss, you've seen quarterbacks get like that no matter what they do. They're on fire. They're hitting the receivers. And listen, that's also on the defense. The defense has to do a better job making him feel uncomfortable, changing what they're doing in coverage so he's a little bit confused. You can't just let him pick you apart.
Temple takes over, and the Owls send the offense back onto the field. Boy, they had that last drive moving a little bit, David, but then the mistake. There he goes! Touchdown, Owls! And the pummeling has started. They put another score on the board as they try to push this winning streak to 3.
Huge play. It's so nice to have guys that can create these explosive plays like this. You hand it to him, he can do the rest. Look at the speed. Look at the elusiveness. Get into the end zone. Nice run.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Louisville has it back, and the offense coming out ready to attack. They'll move the wide receiver. Looking downfield on first down. Finds his man. It's Clemens. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line. That big pickup on what they call the drag route, but if you hit it on time, you can hit the turbo boosters.
And you've got to be accurate on the throw too, Reese. Nice job by the QB there, putting it out in front of his receiver to make an easy catch and then advance it.
And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. Let's see what they've got on second down. Out of the gun to give to the back. Got enough for the first down. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
And the Cardinals with the 1st and 10. to go up top on first down. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
And this is a tough time for this offense because you're in passing mode. You're in comeback mode, and what is that? The defense knows that. Like, they're pinning their ears back. They're coming after the quarterback, and you've already struggled protecting your guy today and creating those explosive plays. This offense is going to have to buckle up.
Oh, he's got some space. He was working his way toward that goal line. They'll stop him at the 2 after the big play up top.
Well, I'll give this offense some credit because they've got a lot of fight. There is no quit in them, and they're obviously trailing by a big amount in this game. They haven't had a lot of success, but they're still taking shots, and their players...
Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Louisville!
And the running back gets his second rushing touchdown of the game. You want to continue to feed this guy. You could tell he's got a nose for the end zone, knows how to get in there, knows how to make things happen.
And the extra point was good to finish things off. The deficit is huge, this one is all, but Overton, they'll keep trying and line up for the onside kick.
Yeah, and a great job by the receiving team. When you see the football kick, man, you got to be smart how fast it's coming, if I'm ready to catch it, if it needs to go to the next wave. Nice job being organized, seeing it, and executing well.
They keep it on the ground. Clock is their friend. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down. So they move the sticks on the run. Let's see what they do with this one. To the air on first down. Catch in the middle. It's Westbrook. Who gives a hoot? The Owls do. It's a touchdown. And the beatdown has ensued. They add on another one, and they're about to push their record to 5-1.
Nice job on the route and catch by the tight end scoring that touchdown. And it doesn't matter what play this offense calls. All game long, everything has been working. This has been a masterclass in offensive productivity.
The Louisville offense is headed back out on the field. This thing got out of hand on them, but they'll try to finish with some pride here.
And this one was a beatdown, and there's nothing you can do about it because this one's over. Jesse, now we got to start progressing for next week for the rest of this season so we don't let one bad game turn into 2.
Yeah, there are very few teams out there that won't watch game film, but they may want to skip this one. I mean, because it may hurt their confidence. They just need to turn the page and get ready for the next opponent and forget this day ever happened.
Caught over the middle. It's Payne. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
And that RPO play was run to perfection. The run fake forced and sucked the defense up, and a nice job on the route by the receiver, not telegraphing that he was breaking to the inside on the slant.
Bringing the heat. Caught behind the line. It's Henderson. And that is good versatility there and a big hit from the backer in pass coverage. And now on second down for this offense. They'll send the back in motion. Back to pass on second down. Grabbed in the middle. It's Payne. Nice pick up there. Gets him the first down and sets him up at the 45-yard line. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout called. They've crossed midfield at the 45 with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. Got the back over the middle. They've got it inside the 30. They'll at the 28, it's first down.
And a great job by the QB finding the running back, getting the football where he can do some damage after the catch, and most importantly, get the first down.
Just keep slinging it. And he dropped it. It looked for all the world like that would be a catch, and he just got too excited. So now it's second and long. Looking to fire. Here's the heat. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
And this defense has put a game together. Like, it is hard to put all the facets of defense together. Run defense, pass defense. They've been so good, man. Dialed in, you could tell. They were ready, they were fast, they were physical. They dominated this football game today.
On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. Touchdown Cardinals. Snagged in the end zone to give them 6.
And a nice touchdown, continuing to fight, continuing to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take a miracle, but nice job by this offense continuing to fight, push the ball down the field, make plays.
They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. From inside the 10, here he comes. And he did a good job bobbing and weaving and finding a little bit of running room on that return. Temple takes over, and the offense will return to the field. And now one of the most satisfying moments in football, just watching that clock drain away while you have control of the ball, Jesse.
And this is definitely one of the best play callers, right, for an offensive coordinator. Getting ready to go into victory formation. So many good things happened today. It seemed like everything he was dialing today, David, ended up working out.
No doubt. They put a lot of highlights together, put a great offensive game together, complete football game. They get the win. On to next week.
To the air on 2nd down. Finds his back in the middle. Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the 1st down. They'll immediately call timeout. The offense has it now at the 48-yard line, 1st and 10. They get to him as he throws.
And it's nice to be a QB in this spot. He's had a great day, man. Like, great day. They've built a huge lead now. Incompletion's okay. Just take care of the football. Don't throw that thing to the other team.
Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. Back to pass. Under fire. Blasted as he lets it go.
Well, the offensive line has got to give him at least a little bit of time to survey the field. He had no chance that time, getting hit almost immediately after he got the ball.
Now facing a 3rd and long. Unloads to the right. And a missed opportunity on 3rd down as the defense knocks it free, and 4th down is coming up. No hesitation at all. The offense stays on the field. They'll go for it. Can't make the catch, and the defense will force the turnover on downs. Louisville has it back, and the offense coming out ready to attack.
Here we go, here we go.
They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. Pocket breaking down. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to avoid the loss.
Man, do I love being a defensive lineman in games like today when you know you got to go get the quarterback. Like, they're down on the other side. They have to throw the football. Only chance they have to get back in. I'm playing the pass every time, pinning my ears back, and going to get the quarterback.
Pressure coming. Nowhere to go with the ball, and down he goes at the 39. The offense uses a timeout. 15 seconds left to play. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. He's taking a deep shot. And they wanted it all on 3rd down, but now dealing with 4th down.
You know, it's one thing to take shots early in a game when the defense may not be expecting it, but at this point, 4th quarter, you're trailing by a lot. They know you're going to do it, and the defense was expecting that one. Great job in the back end.
Got his man downfield. He's knocked out of bounds, and he still had a long way to go, and it'll be a turnover on downs. A bold decision to go for it on 4th down, and one that did not pay off. One more play to pad the stats. Wants to throw on 1st down. Throws to the wideout. Oh, what a spectacular layout and catch. Timeout is called with just a single second left.
Timeout, Temple.
They've got this game in hand, but maybe there's some bad blood. They want to rub it in a bit. This field goal attempt is going to be an even 50-yarder. And they get the icing on the cake, and that might make for some long memories after this one. Well, look what we have here, guys. After all the early season doubts, these guys have put together a winning streak.
They sure have. Man, they're just believing in themselves right now. This is a completely different looking team what we saw early in the year. Playing with so much more confidence.